Hello, welcome to Hanoi. This is the start of our trip to Vietnam for a month. The very first morning, I decided to go for a walk around near our hotel.
I think I'm on Book Street right now. I mean, I was just wandering around, but yeah, came onto Book Street, where it's just loads of bookstores.
There were so many interesting buildings around, and we were staying right in the heart of the city. One of the biggest things we immediately noticed was how many motorbikes there were. And it was also kind of tricky weaving in and out of the pavements, just because people were parked there. After taking in the atmosphere of the city, we headed towards Train Street. This is a famous railway where trains go through and there's loads of cafes around.
Very shiny. Just my skin.
We waited around and stayed for the coolest part, the train passing through. It was actually terrifying being up close and personal like that. It was way closer than I imagined, and you can even see the fear in Blair's eyes. Once the train had passed though, we could walk along the rest of the railway, enjoying the colourful lights from the rest of the cafes. Next we moved on to the Hanoi Central area, and I was surprised by how much nature there was.
Hoan Kiem Lake. And there's a little temple in the middle, right there.
By this point it was almost evening time, so a lot of people were out and about just having their evening walks, runs, etc.
There's notes all the way up. Whoa. Love it. So I got a grab bike to the other side of the city today. I'm at the mausoleum and the museum. But yeah, grab bike's basically like Uber, but on a motorcycle, and it only cost me 70p, which is crazy. But yeah, here's the mausoleum. No, this is the museum building, and then I'm walking over to the mausoleum as well.
This is the first thing you see entering the museum, this magnificent statue of Ho Chi Minh himself. And there are also some really interesting artifacts like this sword, and these really cool displays, sort of artistic impressions of his life. Following that, I headed to the mausoleum, however it was closed by this time. But walking around the gardens was really fun too.
So I've seen the mausoleum, I've seen the museum, now we're going to Ho Chi Minh's Stilt house. It's around this pond. This is a lovely park. It's away from all the hustle and bustle of the city. It's so quiet here. It's also not as busy as I thought it would be, but maybe it's because it's also an hour from closing.
His stilt house was in such a serene, quiet place. And they had it set up so you could see nicely inside his quiet workspace.
There's a really cool fencing over there, but for some reason I'm not allowed to go into those grounds. I think it's because it's the presidential office.
And then I came across this structure which felt exactly like a temple out of Legend of Zelda. Next, it was time for a little break and I headed for some salted coffee. Not usually a coffee person, but it was actually really good and the salt added some extra sort of dimension to it. Right next to the mausoleum was the Thang Imperial Citadel, so I decided to visit there next. This was once a royal residence and also became a military fort at one time with this bunker.
So this is the bunker. It's a military operations bunker. Wow. This is so cool. Also have radio equipment. And through here, it's a filter. Some more communications devices. I think I prefer this area to the museum. The museum was pretty good, but here they literally have like these bunkers, these relics. So cool.
They even had these cool military cars on display.
This is the historical relics building. So we're gonna head in there. Yeah, this is also a royal well that was discovered in the premises. Honestly, this park is lovely. Those are spinning really fast now. They have bricks laid from different eras. So that's the newer ones, these are the older ones down here. Yeah, there's currently some excavation going on under here too. So interestingly, this excavation area used to be a palace. I think it was from the 14th century, so pretty old. I think their excavation's still in progress too, because they've got some covers and stuff. Also this side's really pretty. These lily pads. They also have very interesting plant colors here. Wow. So this is called the Northern Gate Relic. It's a massive building.
As sun was setting on top of the Northern Relic building, I got to see this cool worship area. It was also very quiet because it was just about to close.
So I randomly stumbled across this, but wow. That is an absolutely stunning church. Incredible. And there's a statue too. Right there. Wowzers. Yeah, so this is tofu and noodles and rice with a sauce. So let's try it. Oh, this has peanuts in it.
On our last day in Hanoi, our plan was to go to a bunch of museums, with the first one being Hoa Lo Prison. This is one of the most notorious prisons in all of Vietnam. There were many extreme stories from the Vietnam War, so it was quite a harrowing and emotional experience.
This dude's in solitary confinement.
And to end off this museum, they had this memorial, which was a lovely way to reflect. Next, I headed to the police museum just across the road. This one was really interesting as they had a bunch of uniforms, hats, and even vehicles. Interestingly, they also showcased confiscated weapons.
Crazy, they have nunchucks here, and all of these like machetes and knives and stuff that they've collected as contraband.
And, of course, to wind down, we headed towards the Note Cafe, which we had spotted in the city a couple of days ago.
I had an egg coffee. It was pretty good. Very eggy.
And to end off our evening, we chilled and waited by the lake.
We're waiting for our train. We're gonna go to a vegan restaurant first.
This was actually my first time trying pho, but it was so good, and I'll end up having it countless times after this. Anyway, it was late at night and we were getting an overnight train to Sapa.
Do you think it's kind of cozy in here? Do you think it's kind of cozy in here?
Yeah. And it's cozy. You wouldn't want to be like mega tall, would you? Some meals.
This train actually went along the same line where we were sitting when the train passed us by in Hanoi Train Street. So join us next time when we arrive at 6 AM in the morning in Sapa. And yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.